right, welcome back to the Press Box. Wes Blomquist with Mike Foreman. All right, Mike, made it through the season, playoff season. Still have 20 teams left. That's why we're here. We're here at the Advocate offices right outside.
Awful busy time of the year, Wes. But it's exciting, too, isn't it?
It is exciting. Memorial in the playoffs. Hey, haven't made it since 2005. Never hosted a playoff game. That changes this Friday. San Antonio and Clark will come to town. They're 9-1 on the season. Pretty good team, but Memorial, they bounced back. They got beat 58-0 against Judson. Hey, came back and won 38-28 last week.
Yeah, it was a good performance for them, and they won a game they had to win, which is just huge for the program. So hopefully this will carry over. We'll see how they do, but whatever happens, this will be a great experience.
Yeah, and you never want to say the game was won by one player, but a huge reason why O.J. Hughes ran the ball 48 times, 284 yards, 3 touchdowns. Huge effort out of the junior.
Well, Coach Finley's smart enough to know that if something's working, you stick with it. And obviously, O.J. was getting a lot of yards, and he stuck with that, and that helped Memorial win the game.
Yeah, and earlier today I went over and I talked to Mickey and I talked to O.J. as well.
All right. Hey, give me some. You crazy. I does my thing.
All right, Mr. Hughes, in the playoffs, what's this feeling like?
It's a great feeling. We come out, we practice, we do what we need to do. We just get the job done when it's there to get it done.
Okay. Last week y'all had a play-in for the playoffs, so kind of pressure tested. Does that help y'all out going into the playoffs, you think?
Yes, sir. It's a great atmosphere out there. I mean, it's the biggest ball game of the season. You couldn't ask for a better team to play against, a better ball game to be in, and it was a lot of fun.
Okay, and y'all are hosting a playoff game. First playoff game Memorial's ever hosted. What do you think the atmosphere will be like?
It has to be great. You come off a win at home, a must-win at home, and then you go in the playoffs with a home game. It's great. It's a great atmosphere to be out there.
Hosting playoff game, first playoff game Memorial's ever hosted. What do you hope the atmosphere will be like here on Friday night?
Well, I just hope it's an exciting time for our kids. I hope they have a lot of people out here, a lot of students, and everybody just with a really wild atmosphere is what I'm hoping for, where our kids can get real excited about being in the playoffs and make it a special event for them.
Okay. And last week's game against East Central, it was a play-in game for the playoffs, so these guys are kind of pressure tested coming into the game. Do you think that'll help out coming into the playoffs?
Well, I think it is. You know, that's the closest thing we've ever had to a playoff game, and our kids really responded well, and they're real excited about the possibilities this week. I think we got a great chance to win this football game if we play well.
Okay. And a little bit on O.J.'s effort. What do you think O.J. showed y'all last Friday night?
Well, he showed us a lot of endurance, for one thing. You know, he was running the ball 47, 48 times. That's a lot of carries, and, you know, we'll be counting on him to do a lot this week. Hopefully he won't carry it that many times. 20-something of those are options where he kept the football, so, you know, there's a chance. I don't think they're going to give us a quarterback run as much as the other team did. That was kind of a shocker to us on the option that they would let him run the football, but that's what happened. And, you know, if they let us do it again, we'd love to do that again.
Okay. All right, pretty exciting time over there at Memorial High School. I know last week it was exciting too. They had that playoff game. Phil, the intern, he was at that game, came back excited. He was all about O.J. Hughes.
Well, he'll have a lot of chances to go to Memorial Stadium this week, as we have 3 playoff games there, starting Thursday night with Refugio and Tidehaven.
Yeah, that should be a pretty interesting game. I know Refugio is coming off 70-0 win over Bloomington. They're passing the ball a lot this year, right?
Yeah, they throw the ball. Tidehaven does as well. They've got a quarterback, Sean Daniels, who's always up amongst the leaders. So this will be an exciting game for people who like wide-open spread offenses, because both teams run almost exactly the same offense.
All right, so you'll get your fill of throwing the ball on Thursday, Friday night. Probably going to see more running. Saturday, definitely going to see more running. Yeah. Calhoun, they were off last week, right, but they're here at Memorial Stadium on Saturday.
Right, they play Floresville, which is a repeat of last year's bi-district matchup. This year they get it here at Memorial. Last year they had to go down to Corpus and play at Tolosa Midway. I know the Sandcrabs must be just very anxious to play. I mean, sitting there having a bye week on your last week, that's probably not what you like, but it gave them a chance to heal up and to practice for Floresville for 2 weeks. So I would venture to say that Calhoun will be ready.
Yeah, and some of the other playoff games, I know Industrial, hey, we put it in the paper the last 2 weeks. They slipped past their opponents. Hey, they slipped right into a district championship. That's what I was told by a caller. What do you think their chances are this week against Banquetti?
I have no doubt Industrial has an excellent chance to defeat Banquetti. Industrial's played good ball all year. They deserve the district championship. They beat a very tough Hitchcock team. And I would say, that their chances are very good this week in Refugio against Banketti.
Yeah, and I'm going to have to say St. Joseph's chances are pretty good too. I said that last week, and they slipped up. They lost to San Antonio Christian, not the district champs this year. But hey, they're still hosting a playoff game, Patty Weller Stadium. There's no visitors sidelines or stands, but they're taking on Tomball Concordia
Lutheran, right? And I'm sure Coach Mars will do his best to build this team into the next Super Bowl champion like he always does. But, he just wants his team to be ready. And coming off a loss, he wants them to bounce back. But the Flyers, they have playoff experience. They should be ready for this game. I think they'll do okay in this game. This team came out of the same district as Second Baptist. And, St. Joseph beat Second Baptist. So the Flyers will be there, and they'll be ready.
Yeah, that's always a perfect way to guess on games. Common opponents, right?
Yeah.
It always works out that way.
It's a little dangerous,
is.
to do that, because especially in the playoffs, things happen and teams change, and you never know. So that'll be just one of. There's a number of games, though. Cuero, of course, we wanted to mention is playing. They're going up to San Antonio, and they're playing Somerset. And the coach at Somerset is Sonny Detmer. And you may have heard that name, Ty Detmer, quarterback. That's their dad. He has coached for a long time. And this year, his nephew is the quarterback, as a sophomore. So the Cuero is liable to see a throwing team, I would guess.
All right, should be pretty interesting. A lot more games, other games of interest. You can check them out on the Advocate. I know Mike will have them all on there. Should be pretty interesting, and hopefully a lot of our teams are still playing next week.
Right, and we have a couple of teams this week that have a bye, Shiner and Ganado, so they'll come in next week. So we're guaranteed at least 2 teams, but I would guess that we'll have a lot more than 2 next week.
All right. For Mike, I'm Wes. Another aspect of the press box is highlights. We're encouraging coaches and fans to send in clips. You can either do this by sending us a URL from YouTube or bringing us a physical copy. Our address here is 311 East Constitution in Victoria.